we're gonna look at this head and arm choke. So basically, anytime Rob's arm is kind of up in this position, and I can get under the neck, and I have his arm that's kind of triangle, typically referred to, or whatever. We're gonna look at that. So basically, the setup's just gonna be for now. I'm just gonna move to this position. I'm gonna get my arm under right here. Correct way to do this is almost always, unless my partner's way bigger than me on the bottom, the guy on the bottom is bigger, my shoulder's almost always gonna be in a bad position right here. Obviously, if I were doing this and I were trying to hold it, I'm gonna take my head down from the beginning to the ground. Now what I wanna do is I wanna move my hips backwards a little, get my shoulder nice and low, and then slide my head back forward. Once I'm in this position, kind of cupping right here with my head down, I'm not trying to squeeze or be heavy or anything like that. I'm palming his shoulder. I'll change my angle in a second so you can see. My head's down, I'm gonna lean forward, I'm gonna clear my foot off to the side. After I clear my foot off to the side so you can't tangle it up, I'm gonna base this knee up off the ground, and then I scissor my hips through. As I scissor my hips through, there's gonna be some natural, as I sit back, I'll toggle up a little. When that happens, I put myself in a good position to catch right here. So what I'm gonna do is my hand that's underneath in this position, I'm gonna turn it over, palm down, where my back of my hand is up. Opposite hand slides in, wrist to wrist contact. Once I make wrist to wrist contact, I'll put my elbows down, I turn my hips over, my chin goes towards his eye socket. From here, I just lower my shoulder and squeeze. When I say squeeze, when we talk about squeezing with a choke, we're not so much just like with this. Yes, this is the squeeze. Yes, this is the squeeze. And then the second part of that is the expansion. And the expansion, just like in a rear naked choke, there's a squeeze and then an expansion. Right here, there's a squeeze and then an expansion. Kind of take the slack out and help finish the choke. So you get a little bit of a squeeze, get my shoulder as low as possible, finish the choke. I don't want to go into too many crazy details about this. There are quite a few details about it. One thing I will say is there's a couple different ways to finish this. Everybody may have seen this, that's fine. I found personally, we found, my instructor's kind of the first one I saw start doing it the way I'm doing it right now. A lot of other guys do it that way. But we found this works better for everyone. This works fine for me, as it turns out. I have longer arms than some people, so everyone kind of can do this one and it works. One thing I'll say is, if I have 3 points of contact that are in a straight line at the end of this move, right? If my elbow or my hands meet, wrist to wrist, not hands, not this, wrist to wrist, and my elbow over here are all three in relatively a straight line, I'm in a pretty good position to choke. And then if I move my body position, where I'm something like this, I'm in a very good position to choke. So I cover up this arm. So you'll notice I do that on the move, right? So again, we're here, palm and shoulder. Don't worry about how you get here right now. There's a couple ways, we'll talk about it later. But from here, what I wanna make sure, if Rob's kind of chin is down a little bit, just like that, I'm really on his face. And I can maybe choke him from here, but I'm gonna have to, probably he's gonna tap from here because it hurts more than a choke, right? So the way I ensure that I get under his chin is I just move backwards a little, get my shoulder down. Now I slide my shoulder forward. When I'm in this position, immediately head kind of goes down and I clear my hook. Once I'm in this position again, base with my hand, knee up off the ground. You'll notice as I scissor, I kind of pick him up a little. Catch, elbows down. Now, from this position, I don't move my elbow under my body. I move my body over my elbow, chin towards his eye socket to lock his arm in position, lower my shoulder. A little squeeze. Usually, if you set all that up and he's giving you everything, you don't need the expansion at the end. In real life, when we're rolling and he's resisting me, and I get a less than perfect choke, the expansion here, and a little bit of chest expansion at the end of the move is helpful. Questions? Let me see it again, are you good? I see it again. Yep. Y'all said that. Rob was holding it. I saw the look on Rob's face. He's like, I don't want anybody to
Who the hell said that?
Yeah. So again, we're here, arm across, arm underneath, here, head backwards, shoulder backwards, down. As I drive it forward, I'm kind of almost thinking about really stay low from this position, immediately clear this hook so he can't grab it, base up, thread through as I thread through here, right? Again, if I just use my reference of my elbow position, right? So if I think about my arms go down, elbow, hand, elbow. Now, if I do this, I'm not gonna have a ton of pressure on my shoulder. It's not terrible, but not a ton of pressure. If instead, elbow, hands, elbow, and now I get my rib cage over my elbow. Hard to, that's a choke, I mean, whatever, when you're practicing, hard to loosen up, like some chokes you can kind of do a little bit more gentle. That's when it's tough to kind of do more gentle, but it's not, you can't really loosen the grip. Questions?
One more time.
1, 2.
How to win friends and influence people. All right, guys.